Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Zhiyun Smooth C Gimbal Stabilizer for any phone you have in your pocket. And this might even be an iPhone 4 or an iPhone 3G or even an iPhone 1. I'm not saying you do want to film with it, but you can stabilize your footage completely. And this is, I think, is the product that can kill the Osmo on the market if you already own a very good cell phone that goes and fits in this proper gimbal. Now the price for this gimbal goes and fluctuates daily, and that's because I think there is a trend in people wanting these type of things more and more, because you do get a lot of quality, and phones these days really compare to the quality of the Osmo and produce some very high quality video, and people don't really notice if you're using a DSLR sometimes, or even an Osmo, or even your smartphone, and that is something we do need to keep in mind. But going back to the price of this particular model, this one goes for around $200. You can get different models with different batteries that might have a different grip. They have, of course, the same 3 gimbal system, and they all do the same thing basically. But the cheapest one you can get is maybe $190. This one was $200. You can get them all the way for $400. But I think that really messes up the point of buying such a thing, because you do not want to buy something that costs nearly as much as the Osmo. And that is something that you really want to work on and think about, that if I do want something that compares to the Osmo, am I willing to pay for something that doesn't even have a camera that nearly costs as much? Now, the build quality of this particular model that I took is, for me, 10 out of 10. Everything is made out of metal except for the phone holder, which is logical because it's a replaceable part and because you can add different things to it. And every part is made out of metal, from the base to the parts where the motors are, and the little joystick, of course, is plastic, but all the other buttons and parts are purely metal. And this is very good for me, because if I do drop it, I know it's not going to break in one time, and plastic tends to bend, and especially when you're holding a phone which costs a lot. For example, when I use the iPhone 6s or the Samsung S7, I don't really want to have a thing that holds in my hand that's able to bend and drops my phone. So for this gimbal, the phones that I would highly recommend are phones with image stabilization built into it, because when you do walk with your phone and you do want to get as little shake as possible in it, then I would really get a phone that takes out that shake by itself. And a good phone that really does that is the Samsung S7. Yes, the iPhone 6s Plus offers it, but I think this phone is just too big to use for such a device. I mean, yes, it fits, but again, I do not want to have a too big phone, because it just looks a bit unnatural and it looks a bit flimsy, and it's also very stressful for the motors itself, because you need to add more weight to it, and I like to keep my products nice and healthy. The battery life of this device, I think, is unbelievable by itself. I mean, for the batteries that they are, let me first unscrew it quick so you can see it by yourself, are 2 very small batteries, and give me a sec. Oops, there they go. Very small batteries, and they will make sure that you can film with this gimbal for 4 complete hours. Now, I already filmed 3 hours, no problem. It did go to the nearly 25% mark of battery, but that is of course expectable for such a device. I know the Osmo is only capable of filming for 1 hour, and then you can think, well, do I need to film long or do I need to film short? Do I need the Osmo that can film only 1 hour but already has a built-on camera? Or can I take out my phone for that hour and make sure that I got 3 more hours when I'm done for that hour? And that might save you time for recharging batteries. So just also as a demonstration, how it works is you press the on button here, you make sure that it blinks a few times, then you just hold it for 1 second and it would stabilize by itself, which is just great. When I held this in my hand, I was like, wow, wow. Like magic, pure magic. And it has 3 modes. One that it moves with you. I think this is just nice, if you just want to do some panning and small things like that. Another great one is in case you want to film something that the thing you're filming will always be in front of you, the target, and then it will always be pointing in that direction. And I think that is just great by itself, because imagine you want to film someone skateboarding, he's going to go one way, your camera will only fix on that direction, and then everything is fixed, and you just need to be following the target. And I think this is something that works really well. The last mode I do not really understand, because you can change the horizon, and yeah, it's nice, but I want to have my shots straight. And it actually follows where you go to, so if you point up, it goes up, if you point down and up. but it's not my favorite mode because it's very flimsy, and I just don't like that it goes everywhere, or the camera points at everything you don't want it to. Last but not least, would I recommend this to people that own a good phone? Yes. If you want to film, you want to do things, and you want people to watch you, and you want to pull out some good quality that is stable, and you want to put it on YouTube, or you want to put it on Facebook, this is going to be the magic device you want to hold in your hand that can take the good video. Anyway, that's it from my end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it really put some imagination in your head that you don't always need to get the newest equipment. You know, I mean, the Osmo you can get secondhand for 400, 500 bucks. But again, if you can buy something like this for still half of that money and you already have a good phone, this will be the great alternative to beat the Osmo, and you can still get some amazing quality. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and of course, like I always say, let's do it and just don't think back once it's done. See you later.